me.
Oh, yes.
As long as I'm in your will, Jesus. Oh, Jesus, I love you. Thank you for sparing my life. Oh, I want y'all to say it. Come on, everybody say it. Make the declaration, because they got some living people walking around dead. So I want you to make that declaration. Say, I'm still alive. I'm still alive. I'm still alive. Hey, the enemy can't take me out. Hey, said I'm marching for the kingdom. Hey, I'm shining the glory of the Lord. Oh, then here we are. Hey, I'm still alive. I said, oh, and I thank you, Lord. I'm still alive.
I'm still alive because I serve a living Savior. I'm still alive because God is my Father who is in heaven. I am still alive. Oh, yes. In Joshua chapter 6, verse 5, you'll find the fifth verse of an outcome based on obedience. It says, and it shall come to pass that when they make a king a long blast with the ram's horn, and when you hear the sound of the trumpet, all the people shall shout with a great shout, and the wall of the city shall fall down flat, and the people shall ascend up, every man straight before him. May God add a blessing to the reading. Keep your Bible open. May God add a blessing to the reading, the hearing, but most importantly, the doing of His Word. I want to talk this morning about how to bring down walls. How to bring down walls. All of us got some kind of walls, whether they're economic, whether they are relational, whether it's just people lying and cheating on you. We all have something that separates us. But I love this book of Joshua because Joshua is the successor to Moses in terms of leading the children of Israel. The Lord had made a promise to Abraham back in Genesis chapter 17, verse 8. He said, I will give you a land to possess. Well, that time has come for the nation of Israel to possess the land that the Lord has given them. That land is known as the promised land. Canaan. We used to sing a song, I am bound for the promised land. Who will come and go with me, for I am bound for the promised land. The promised land had some good things about it, but it was a certain amount of sadness. One sadness about the promised land is the fact that Moses, the leader of the nation of Israel, that led the Israelites out of captivity in Egypt, he would not see the promised land. He would not see the promised land, but in God's infinite wisdom, He has provided for a successor to Moses called Joshua. If there were ever a plain person that the Lord used in the Bible, Joshua was that one. Joshua, he was not overeducated. He couldn't sing too good. He didn't preach well, but he was a man after God's own heart, similar to how David was. And so here was something special about Joshua. Joshua was 40 years when they came out of Egypt, and now some 40 years have passed since they have gone to the land of promise. And his message and his assignment was to lead the children of Israel to the promised land. He is now 80 years old. And when they get into the promised land represented possession. In the process of possessing what the Lord has given you, I guess I need to stay there for a few moments to say that the Lord has a blessing with your name on it. However, you have to possess that blessing by being obedient to him and do exactly what he tells you to do. See, the Lord has instructed us to do a lot of things, and we turn our head because it ain't what we want to do. However, he has given the nation of Israel assignment. He has given Joshua assignment, and now they are entering into the promised land. When they enter into the promised land, there are two major cities that they have to go up against. One is Jericho, and the other one is Ai. And those two cities were the two largest cities in the promised land. And so what God told Joshua and the children of Israel, go and possess this land because I'm giving it to you. And I need to stay there for a moment. Whatever the Lord has for you is for you. Can't nobody take it away. Can't nobody give it to you. You know you ain't going to be able to take my joy away by personal testimony because you didn't give it to me. And this joy that I have, the world did not give it to me, nor can the world take it away. Young men, I want you all to sit down. I want you all to sit down and listen to the word of God this morning. As you got baptized this morning, you need to know how to go to your promised land. Even at a tender age of 12 and 15, at an age of 68, I need to know how to get to my land of promise. And so Jericho and Ai, they symbolize military power and strength that the Canaanites considered that was invincible. Look here, did you know that man is nothing for God? I don't care how big the bully is. I don't care what the White House say. I don't care what Russia and Japan and China and Korea. I don't care what they think that they say are in control. They are not in control. They are not more powerful than God. And this is the situation because the Canaanites figured as though the gods that they believed in were invincible, and they believed that they were invincible. However, they got a surprise because the Lord has an awesome way of showing you who is in control. You look at it, you can pout all you want to. You can give the Lord a piece of your mind if you want to. But be not deceived. God is not mocked. For whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. If you sow bad seed, you will get bad fruit if you get any fruit at all. But if you sow some good seed, can I shout out? The Lord will bless you, and nobody can touch you when he blesses you. So then, the promised land, Canaan, that represented conflict as well as conquest, because whatever God gives you, it is going to be a conquest. However, you might have to go through some ups and downs and some peaks and some valleys. And so here, the Canaanites, who were the inhabitants of the land of promise, they saw God as a nature God, a war God. They didn't see him as the true and the living God. Let me ask you a question this morning. How do you see God? Do you see him as a rock in the weary land? Do you see him as a deliverer? Do you see him as a provider? Or just do you see him to call on somebody whenever you need something? And then when he does not respond to how you want him to respond, you'll turn your back on him again. How do you see God? How do you see him this morning? So then, they didn't see him. They did not see God as a fortress God, because that's why Jericho was so powerful a city. Because it was a city that was surrounded by walls and a fort, and it was a fortress city, and they did not think that the Lord could bring down the walls. So then you have to be certain that the Lord can bring down the walls that's in your life. You know, sometimes there are different types of walls. Sometimes your walls are visible. Sometimes they are transparent. Other times they new. They can even be old, but all of us got some kind of wall. But before I get to the highlight, because when I start talking about how he brought down the walls in my life, I can start shouting right now. But we need to see how the Lord brought down these physical walls for the nation of Israel so they can possess the land of promise. So the first point that I want to bring out to you is found in verse 2. And that is, be sure you know you have a reasonable chance at victory. Look here, I don't go into a fight not thinking I'm going to win. If I'm going to fight somebody, I want to at least think that I have a chance. He said, look at verse 2, and the Lord said unto Joshua, see, I have given unto thee thine hand Jericho, and the king thereof, and the mighty men of valor. And so he was telling the nation of Israel initially, not only am I giving you the land, but I'm giving you the king and the men that are fighting for the land. So how many of you all know that you have victory over Satan today? That does not mean that he does not attack you, but you ought to know that victory is already out. It's simple because the enemy has already been defeated. And this is what the nation of Israel had to learn over and over and over and over again. And I got to ask a question. How many lessons do you and I need to learn in the 21st century? That we don't have to learn every lesson the hard way because victory is already out. I have come to the conclusion I'm going to stop telling the Lord how to be God. Stop giving him my timetable and stop telling him the very thing that he already knows. Because he will provide for his children. Be sure that you have a reasonable chance at victory. Yes, we do, because Satan is weak against the God that I serve and the true and the living God. Some of y'all looking at me funny. You ought to say, amen. Right there. Don't hold it against my hand. A spell. Satan was trying to attack me, and he is enabling me to keep talking about the power of God. God is an all-powerful God. Nothing too hard for him. So I am certain that I already have victory. Does that make me be arrogant? Maybe. Maybe. But I know what I know, and I know who God is in my life. Do you know? And verse 3 and 4 will tell you the second step that you need to take in terms of bringing down walls. Be sure to always follow the orders that God gives you. Be sure, because what he does to the children of Israel and what he does is give them instructions that don't make sense to them. Look at verse 3 and 4. He says this, ye shall compass the city, all ye men of war, and go around about the city once. Thus shalt thou do 6 days. 6 days, he's telling them what to do. You need to go around the city for 6 days. I know you've heard the story, but it's good to illuminate on it because we need to get in our system, in our mind, in our hearts, the fact that God will always tell you to do something that does not seem possible. As a matter of fact, he made us in the impossible possible. And so what he does is he's like, you go around the city 6 days. And then, look at verse 4. And the 7 priests shall bear before the ark 7 trumpets of ram's horns, and the 7th day ye shall compass the city 7 times, and the priest shall blow with the trumpet. He used the word 7 4 times in that text because it is the number of perfection. And so he said, now, you can't do nothing without a man or just a woman of God leading you. You got to do something behind a spiritual leader. Don't you know that God has structure and he knows what he knows? If he did not have a messenger or he did not have a leader, the people would have gone around in circles in chaos. And so he says, so 7 times He said, 7 priests, 7 trumpets, and the 7th time, he said, just do what I told you to do. Has God ever asked you to do something that did not make sense? Has he asked you to do something that seemed impossible? Has he asked you to do something that you did not want to do? So was the case. And so then, after I look at the fact that I need to always follow the orders that God gives us, then verse 4, it jumps out at me. It says that not only should you always follow the orders that God gives you, is that you need to know that he equips you for battle. He equips us for battle. And it shall, verse 4, and 7 priests shall bear before the ark. I just read it. 7 trumpets of rams and horns, and the 7th day he shall compass the city 7 times, and the priest shall blow with the trumpets. It's time for us to blow our horns. It's time for the church to let the world know that we are still here. It's time for us to let the world know that we ain't just sleeping in church. It's time for us to let the world know that we are doing something and the church can make a difference. Do you believe that the church can make a difference? If you are a part of the church, I got to ask you a question. When will you be an individual that's making the difference? That's good. This thing home. Okay, this thing is home. We can make a difference because God equips us. He equipped the nation of Israel with priests, which were godly men that was responsible for properly leading them, and they had the Ark of Covenant with them because that represented God's covenant that Abraham made between him and the nation of Israel. God has made us a covenant. He has promised that he would be with us even until the end of time. He has promised that he has a prepared place for prepared people. Some folks ain't going to heaven because they ain't going to enjoy it. Some folks may not make it to heaven because they are not a believer. We have been challenged to do some things that we have refused to do. Believe, worship, shout, serve, oh yeah, and tell folks about the Lord. So then, when I looked at he has equipped us, when I looked at the fact that we are to follow the orders that he has given us, and when I understand and I'm certain that I have a reasonable chance of victory, I've come to the conclusion I got more victory than what I thought I had. I have a better chance than what I thought that I had. So then, verse 5 represents 3 points. It represents that to be victorious, we need 3 things. We need God, we need the Word, and we need the preacher. Because the reason we need the preacher, because it's important that faith comes by hearing, and hearing by the Word of God. And how can they hear without a preacher? Simply because he is the voice piece and the messenger of Christ in these days and times that we live in. Just like Joshua was the preacher and the representative that the Lord had placed over the nation of Israel, God has done the same thing in the 21st century. And not only do we need the preacher, we need the Word, because there's something about the Word of God. Yeah. David said that the Word of God is like a lamp unto my feet and a light unto my path. Yeah. I will hide his words in my heart that I might not sin against God. So I've got the preacher, I've got the Word, but then what else do I have? I got an all-powerful God that made me just as I am. I got an all-powerful God that created not only me, but created mankind in you. I got an almighty God that has created the universe and created everything that you and I have. And you don't think that that's enough? That's more than enough. That's more than enough. As a matter of fact, the God I have created not only mankind, but he made a way that I don't have to be lost. He made a way through a sacrifice called his son Jesus. And when he gave his Jesus on my behalf, his son Jesus, he died that I might have a right to the tree of life. And I know that he died for me. Do you know that? Oh, yes. Oh, yes. In verse 5, he tells you something else that you have. He says, everyone can play and have an instrument. And it shall come to pass that when they make a long blast with the ram's horn, and when ye hear the sound of the trumpet, all the people shall shout. You have an instrument, it's called your voice. Do you feel like you're playing your instrument this morning? By shouting, say, Lord, thank you for what you already done. Lord, you have placed something in me, and I don't have the right to remain silent. But when we have our voice, we ought to blow out love. So love ought to come out of our instrument, power out of our mouth. Love, joy ought to come out. Goodwill ought to come out. Happiness ought to come out. Hope ought to come out. Peace ought to come out. And then victory already is here. How many of you all know that you're victorious right now? You ought to shout and say, Lord, thank you for what you have done. I have an instrument, it's called my voice. And every now and then I will say it loudly, Lord, thank you for what you already done. After we had equipment, the very last thing to do, when you have obeyed the Lord, you going up. See, it's almost impossible to praise the Lord and go down. He said, y'all shall shout with a great shout, and the wall of the city shall fall down flat, and the people shall ascend up, every man straight before him. Oh, I want to be ready when Jesus calls me. I want to go up. I'm sick and tired of going down. But when I serve the Lord, he makes me want to go up. And how many of you all feel like getting up and going up for the Lord? Simply because he's been too good to us. If you want to tear down some walls, you got to let him give you the direction. So we can all go up. We all need to learn how to go up. Simply because victory is mine. Give me something, man. Give me something. I feel like shouting. Give me something to shout on. Well, if you don't, I can start shouting right now because I can remember what the Lord did for me just 2 years ago. Woo! I remember what he has done for me already. The door of the church is gone. It's time for us to take down the walls of division. The walls of being misunderstood. The walls of a lack of communication. Somebody want to come this morning. And you can come.
Conchita can't make